Christopher Nolan hasn't even released The Odyssey yet, and somehow it's already become one of the most controversial films of the decade. Over 600,000 dislikes on the official trailer, accusations of DEI casting, arguments over modern American dialogue, backlash over using a translation that many critics call feminist, and now people are asking one question. Has Universal accidentally created the most divisive blockbuster since Disney's live-action remakes? Let's break it all down. The first thing everyone noticed wasn't the visuals, it was the trailer's reception. Across YouTube, the official trailer accumulated roughly 600,000 dislikes, making it one of the most negatively received blockbuster trailers in recent memory. While YouTube no longer publicly displays dislikes, browser extensions that estimate them showed the number continuing to climb, and numerous outlets reported on the unusually negative reception. But why? Well, there isn't just one reason. The biggest flashpoint has been the casting. Particular attention is focused on Lupita Nyong'o portraying Helen of Troy, with critics arguing that the casting prioritizes diversity over historical or mythological accuracy. Supporters respond that Greek mythology has been reinterpreted for over 2,500 years, and film adaptations have always taken creative liberties, from costumes to dialogue to storytelling. Whether you agree or disagree, it's clear the debate became about more than just one casting decision. It's quickly evolved into another front in Hollywood's ongoing culture war over diversity, representation, and so-called DEI. Then came another controversy, the dialogue. Instead of sounding like an ancient epic, characters use modern English with American accents. Some lines sounded so contemporary that social media compared them to conversations outside Starbucks. Christopher Nolan defended the decision, saying it was intentional. His argument? No modern accent is historically accurate anyway. Ancient Greeks didn't sound British or American. So rather than imitate Shakespearean English, Nolan wanted dialogue that modern audiences could immediately connect with. It's certainly a bold creative choice. Whether audiences embrace it is another question. Perhaps the most surprising controversy involves a book. Christopher Nolan has acknowledged drawing inspiration from Emily Wilson's acclaimed English translation of The Odyssey. Wilson made history as the first woman to produce a complete English translation of Homer's epic. Her work has been praised by classicists for its accuracy and readability, but critics argue her translation reflects a more modern, and in their words, a more feminist interpretation of the text. The most famous example? Traditional translations often describe Odysseus as the man of many ways. Wilson famously translates it as, "Tell me about a complicated man." Supporters say she is being faithful to the complexity of the original Greek. Critics argue it subtly changes how audience perceive the character from the very first line. The debate has become surprisingly political, despite centered around a poem which was written almost 3,000 years ago. Now comes the million or perhaps billion-dollar question. Will any of this matter? History gives us mixed answers. Movies have survived online outrage before, sometimes controversy even becomes free marketing, but there are reasons Universal might still be paying close attention. Moviegoing still hasn't fully recovered to the pre-pandemic levels in many markets, even though theatrical attendance has improved significantly since COVID. Audiences have become far more selective about which films deserve a trip to the cinema, especially when tickets and concessions are more expensive than ever. A film with an estimated production budget of around $250 million, plus marketing, would likely need hundreds of millions in the global box office revenue before becoming truly profitable. That doesn't mean The Odyssey can't be a massive success. Christopher Nolan has earned enormous goodwill after Oppenheimer, and early critic reactions have been overwhelmingly positive. But if Universal was hoping for another billion-dollar cultural phenomenon, the intense polarization surrounding this movie could make that climb much more unpredictable. The irony is almost poetic. The Odyssey has always been a story about surviving impossible obstacles before reaching home. Now, Christopher Nolan's version has begun its own Odyssey, and the journey hasn't even reached theaters yet. So what do you think? Is this backlash justified? Or is this another example of internet outrage creating a controversy bigger than the movie itself? Let me know down below, and until next time, CT Fulcrum, out.